I got one more thing that I want to watch today. You guys submitted this to me like 100 times before. It's this. What I learned from my wife's Marvel Rivals addiction. I wanted to wait a few months before I watched it, but you guys recommended this like absolutely crazy, and here's the thumbnail for it. She won't stop playing. You know what's crazy? 2.5 months ago is what? May 1st? Was that season 7.5? Isn't that the Avengers one? And I'm just gonna get insta DMCA'd right off the bat. Oh, poor YouTube.
Is one that you didn't really care for all that much. Now, what if this person was your wife? And what if that game was Marvel Rivals?
Okay.
So just how does someone go from not gaming much at all to getting obsessed with Marvel Rivals?
Wait, hang on, what did that say? My wife employed.
At all to getting obsessed with Marvel Rivals. My wife Camille and I first met in high school. Much like my now Minecraft-obsessed father and uncles, she hadn't played too many games outside of some DS and Wii.
Wait, your whole family is gamers? I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little jealous.
And also Zelda Breath of the Wild, a game we had both played and bonded over.
Shay should make this in reverse. Do you not know that she plays fuck tons of Rivals? Like, ridiculous amounts of Rivals. It's the amount of times I've walked down there and she's playing Rivals and she's like, no, don't look. Because she doesn't want me to watch, because she's like, yeah, I won't blow up her spot, but like she's not super high ranked, but she doesn't play ranked very much. So
to date more and more. We also played a bit of Mario Kart together.
More than me? No, she's employed, so no, not more than me.
One. Well,
Okay.
After a very hopeful time apart from each other and our eventual marriage soon into adulthood, that connection...
Yeah, I was gonna say, there's a lot more women that play Rivals than other shooters I've noticed. Yeah, 100%. I think there's a ton. Like way more than probably most people expect.
Breath of the Wild held true, and I soon felt that I would be hard-pressed to not try and show her even more games and get her to experience the same joy that I've experienced throughout the years. My wife is such...
Wait, you wanted to experience joy and you said, you know what I got for you? Marvel Rivals? Okay,
a fun-loving person who is sincere in her goals and loves a good competition, and was already interested anyways, so she naturally fell in love with gaming just as I hoped she would. Which is good, because I was not going to love her anymore if she hadn't. I showed her lots of games, and she also found her own that she...
Dude, you know what's really sad? Me and Emong's It Takes Two playthrough is lost to time. We can't find it. We've looked everywhere. We don't know where it is. It's somehow lost to time.
Enjoyed. She was pretty immersed in the hobby. She got some fun out of Hogwarts Legacy when she filled her entire room of requirement.
It's gone. We have no idea where it is. We've looked everywhere.
Green couple painting for some reason. She actually introduced me to Baldur's Gate 3 and played that a ton, and picked up Animal Crossing New Horizons a bit before eventually getting bored with it and returning to her severe Stardew Valley addiction, where she is basically that game's equivalent of Jeff Bezos, but somehow even more evil. So you have a whole kitchen dedicated to...
Why is it just a battery?
Consumerism and a giant corporation.
Yeah, those are all things I can sell, and I got more in there.
And thinking that I had her preferences pinned down is her #1 favorite game right now, a multiplayer, fast-paced, competition-focused, live service hero shooter with a battle pass. Yes, indeed.
Let's take a guess. Everybody guess why. Everybody guess. I'll let you guess first, and then I'm guessing after. Everybody guess. Why do you guys think that is? Everyone's saying skins. Really? I think it has to be more than skins. I think gacha games that are like... How do I phrase this? I think the shittier gacha games that like don't take off, right? Like the games that are like outside the Hoyoverse circle, outside of like Wuthering Waves, like, you know what I mean? Like the ones that try to copy those and they try to have like the super pretty, nice looking skins and nice looking characters that don't go anywhere. Prove that that's not all it is. There has to be something more. It has to have the sauce. I think Rivals is both approachable from a competitive standpoint, but not overwhelming. Like you have to dedicate 900 hours to learning the smallest intricate, interactions just to like be able to go up one rank. So you get the reward of actually playing ranked. I think the skins are nice. I think your characters are nice. I think there's lots of choices of what to play. I don't think you'll get bogged down playing the same thing every day. Like, meta changes pretty decently. You'll play different characters like every other season or so. New characters getting released. It keeps it fresh. And then I think when you play with friends, I think it helps a lot too. So if she's playing with a lot of friends or playing with a group, I think that strategy and coordination and like the teamwork when it comes together is a lot.
2024's Marvel Rivals,
that's my guess.
An online hero shooter starring some of the most popular superheroes ever. For some reason, it absolutely hooked her and has now become easily her most played game probably ever. She is literally playing it right now as I'm writing this script. I think I was genuinely perplexed at what appeared to be a really sudden shakeup in her interests. I wasn't surprised because she was playing a game she liked without my recommendation. She had done this time and time again, and is indeed allowed to make her own decisions, unless she tries to play League of Legends. But I was surprised because
I was going to make the same joke.
I thought I had picked the perfect games for her to play. I didn't expect her to fall in love with a game in a genre that I told her nothing about, and I didn't even really like myself. I thought I knew her well enough after years
Wait,
of
you didn't
marriage
like yourself?
to know what she would be into.
What?
But as always, she keeps surprising me in the best ways, and it was clear I had a lot of new things to.
I feel like if you're a competitive gamer, like an online gamer, you fall into 1 to 5 buckets. Hero shooter / very fast paced, like pew 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 pew, battle royale. Tactical shooter like Valorant, CS, MOBA, Dota, League, hell, even Deadlock kind of falls into that too. Or the 5th and final, the freak category, but in the best way possible. Like, you play all the really more niche FPS games that last for like a couple weeks or like a couple months, that just jump around. RPG, well, we're talking about competitive FPS games, but like Splitgate, the finals, no, not Concord, X Defiant, I'm trying to think of what other ones. Marathon, I'm gonna throw Marathon in there. Marathon's in there. Rogue Company, yes. But I feel like anyone who plays like a lot of those games play a lot of like the similar, like, no, not Apex. Apex, you're too mainstream. Sorry. Arc Raiders, no, too mainstream. I'm talking about like you just play like all the very weird, like kind of fun FPS games that nobody wants to touch.
Learn about her and Marvel Rivals. After a couple weeks of trying the game out after it released, I happily went back to my single-player comfort zone. However, my wife didn't. She didn't return to her Stardew Valley farm the way she used to, and Baldur's Gate 3 wouldn't see an open save file from her for months, because my wife was still playing Marvel Rivals. I decided it was time that I pick Marvel Rivals back up, for more than a month this time, play with my wife and a few more of our friends, and see what this game is truly all about.
Playing with your friends.
My wife's gamer tag was Gamer Camille at first, but eventually it got changed to Costco Bakery for some reason. She tried.
Oh, for some reason, huh? Some reason? That's what we're going with?
Tried out Mantis at first, but eventually locked into having 3 mains: Cloak and Dagger, Scarlet Witch, and Invisible Woman.
For some reason? Okay.
But even now, she plays Jeff and Luna and Penny and The Thing.
This is... I was gonna say this is Shay's hero pool, but it's not actually. Jeff... It's like Jeff... Dino... Emma... instead of Penny. And then like she's played Cloak and Invis, but I don't think she likes playing them that much.
And Emma Frost, freaking everyone.
Oh, there it is.
Why is she so good? Why is she so good at this game? As for me, Doctor Strange had always been my longtime favorite.
I hate to say it. I hate to say it. Shay's the same
Penny
way.
And The Thing and Emma Frost.
Is there something that these all share? Is there anything that these all share? I think they're some of the best to look at.
Freaking everyone.
They're all pretty
Why is she
or cute.
so good? Why is she so good at this game?
They're all pretty or cute.
Doctor Strange.
And if you say The Thing doesn't count, oh boy, I'm telling you, you're fucking wrong. I'm telling you, you're wrong. You don't know. You don't know ball. You say you guys are questioning the thing. Nah, you don't know ball. There's you got two different types of people. You got the thing people and you got the dino people. I won't elaborate further.
He's been my longtime favorite superhero, so upon hearing he was playable, I picked him up solely because I just love his character and started learning his moves. We would get online with our friends and get put up against another 6-member team. Then we were put into different matches, each with a different goal or objective. There's a King of the Hill mode, another one where you have to escort a vehicle to an ending point, and then another that's sort of the mix of the two. It's not just shooting the other team over and over and seeing who dies.
Listen, no shade to Overwatch. It's very different games these days. I think Rivals will eventually have that evolution. But this is literally why Rivals is a much more approachable game. Think about how he just described all 3 game modes. Like, we think of them, right, as like hybrid, escort, control. In Rivals, it's like convergence, domination, whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? But it's like, we instantly think of it, oh yeah, that's just the 3 modes. It's super simple. But like, from an outside perspective, it's like, how do you describe them? Convoy. How do you describe them easily? You know, like push, a little bit harder, but not that bad. Flashpoint gets kind of complicated. And then what was the other one? When they added back 2CP, but with all the points, I forget what it was called, but like you get more and more complicated.
There's a
and it gets difficult to get into.
One where you have to escort a vehicle to an ending point, and then another that's sort of the mix of the two. It's not just shooting the other team over and over and seeing who dies first. Matches have structure and strategy.
They got rid of it.
We were usually in for
Clash. It's called Clash. Yeah.
So
see, everybody
what
forgets.
Did I learn from my wife's Marvel Rivals addiction? Or to use a kinder and more accurate word, healthy obsession. The first and most obvious thing I saw, and really the only thing that matters at the end of the day, was that my wife...
Hot take, by the way, we saw her hours. It was like 470 hours. What, came out season 7.5? I don't know if I'd say that's an addiction. I think like she probably has... Like, if you play the game consistently, a pretty decent amount, pretty healthy amount of hours. I wouldn't say it's like too crazy. It's probably even higher now. Yeah, she's a grinder, but like nothing wrong with that.
Having a lot of fun. And this was a given. When I asked her where this fun came from, her answer surprised me, but
hitting the flank on the witch.
Me.
I guess I find Marvel Rivals fun because I like team games.
Really?
And I like other people thinking that I'm good at something.
Yeah.
People like feeling good at things.
Yeah.
And I like feeling good at this because it's easy to.
That's so interesting.
Be good.
Let me finish.
Interesting. Can you elaborate on why is it easy to be good at Marvel Rivals?
Scarlet Witch left click. I'm just kidding.
But you play characters that are tougher than Scarlet Witch.
Yeah. So, I'm almost Lord Luna.
As I said before, Camille.
That's actually so interesting, you know, and that's why I think that them doing like the season 9 stuff where they hard leaned into like the team ups and like huge power levels of everybody, and kind of moved away from like the pro player balance philosophy that people were like screaming for. Probably was the right call, because these are the people that play every single day almost. And that's what they come in for. They come in to actually feel like they're good. They feel like they're having an impact, you know. To use a comparison, because it's the best comparison I have, like if you play a lot of Overwatch, game is so advanced so much now that you have to really work just to get a kill if you don't play the game that much. Especially more as like a casual player, and you have to have like better aim, you have to have better movement, better tracking of your cooldowns, you're punished a lot harder, you know. Not saying like one thing is better than the other, but there's a reason why this one's much more approachable than say like a more competitive or a more like hardcore competitive game, you know.
A victory, but one that is earned from her skills and also respect from her peers.
The combo.
That's MVP right there. That's MVP right there.
Yay!
I think Marvel Rivals is more accessible
Huge.
approach to a hero shooter allowed her to get her foot. I think Marvel Rivals' more accessible approach to a hero shooter allowed her to get her foot in the competitive door with this game and rank up quickly and productively. Heroes that have low skill ceilings like Scarlet Witch and Cloak and Dagger were perfect for a shooting game beginner like herself. Easy enough to not have to aim too much to get kills or heals, but weak enough, and in the case of Cloak and Dagger, important enough to have to be really smart with where you place yourself in battle and try to stay alive. Heroes like these allowed her to pull her own weight in a match with relatively low stakes, so she could build her skills and familiarity with the rhythm of matches easily while still having a good time.
And you know, there's a lot of people that always like complain about those characters, like, oh my god, they should be reworked instantly. You know, there should never be a character that's so easy. You need to be able to aim perfectly all the time. And it's like, I don't disagree competitively. Like, a character that has auto aim shouldn't dominate the game like all the time. Like, their numbers shouldn't be high enough that they're like viable at the highest level. But that doesn't mean the hero shouldn't exist in general. Like, that gets a lot of people in the door. And like, it's better to have those people come in and play, even if they're playing like what's considered a quote unquote easier character, and then maybe they'll branch out and try something else in the future and then go from there, as opposed to just never having them try at all.
Instead of just dying over and over. Her
Also, Natty,
motivation
thank you for the
to
7
be
months,
the best
appreciated.
meant she wanted to do what's needed to win and get better fast.
I have heard of
And
that.
for Marvel Rivals, that's all about teamwork.
Yes, that's the thing where like if you play enough games, you're gonna realize that character has weaknesses or isn't as powerful as you want it to be, and then you're gonna like, if I had only knew this other character, I would totally be able to win. And then they're gonna spend time learning the other character, and that character actually does require a lot more skill, and so they're more willing to put in the effort to learn the new one, but it got their foot in the door.
You abandoned me.
Oh, I didn't know you were over there. I thought you were dead.
No, I died shortly after that though.
Oh, Lord, I'm evil.
It's okay.
No TP back.
It's far harder to win in this game if you don't work together. So many other heroes have so many dynamics that work with one another, and so many different abilities that complement with one another. If you aren't willing to work together and use what makes your hero different from the others for the benefit of the team, you are probably going to have a rough time.
Dude, Thing and Strange are really good tank comp, I feel like.
One of my biggest confusions when my wife got so into Marvel Rivals was its gameplay style. To me, all hero shooters were just that. Shooters. You aim, fire, get kills, and that's about it. No
There's gonna be more to
juices
that.
about it. And Camille had never really played a shooting game before. It wasn't until I started playing with my wife more and more that I really saw that it's so much more than just shooting.
To me, this game isn't just about like shooting target it hit. Like, it's about making strategical plays, and some people will get too wrapped up in the fighting that nobody's on point.
Yeah.
And there's been characters who just sit on point the whole time. That's the objective of the game.
It wide open for the other team to get it.
Each hero is
That's true. It's an objective-based game mode. Chat, how many times have I won games where I have like a lobby full of absolute demons that are running around fighting each other, and I just stand there in the cart? Someone's got to do it. I'll do it. They're like, no, you're playing tank. You have to push up. Yeah, you're not wrong. If we were playing like an organized play, you know, we were playing in a tournament, pro play, whatever, that was 100% my job. But we're not. We're playing ranked, and half you fuckers are just running around doing whatever. Oh, look at that. Now we're in one fight territory. You're welcome.
Into one of 3 roles. First up, you got your vanguards, or tanks. These are your strong, robust heroes meant to take hits and push back, protecting their teammates using shields, walls, or other traps and things to direct damage away from their teammates. You've got your duelists, or DPS. These are your up close and personal, or sometimes from far away, fighters. The duelist category is made up of characters that can deal damage in a variety of ways. Some are meant to go one-on-one, some are meant to take out multiple at a time by diving in with a strong attack, some are meant to flank the other team and surprise them from the side. They're all meant to be a strong offense.
3 or 4 shots?
And finally,
Question
you
mark?
got your strategists, or healers. These heroes are meant to keep their teammates in tip-top shape by giving health boosts, temporary shields, jump boosts, and any other kind of power-up.
You guys on support, you guys were so clutch. I survived way longer than I should have.
These 3 roles
Aw.
really matter. The way that teams are...
I realize, you know what? It's this is what, season 7, 7.5. What a time, you know? Like, community was a little smaller. You have the louder minority that was complaining about balance and stuff like that, but what a time. I felt like, don't get me wrong, like, it was always you always had, like, people arguing and slurring and arguing and doing some bullshit, but, man, season 9 has been so bad. Seeing a little clip like that
Pose
warms my
matters.
heart.
You don't want to have 5 healers and 1 small duelist. It's going to be a lot harder to make that viable. Some teams and players can make any combination of roles or heroes work, but most of the time you want it to be perfectly balanced, as all things should be.
Oh my gosh, they're so aggressive. They don't have any... Oh, it's because they have 4 DPS and we only have 1 tank.
So while playing, I really saw firsthand how these heroes are so well designed to be used with each other. As a Doctor Strange main, I know that on my own, I would be absolutely cooked without a good healer on my 6. As a tank, Doctor Strange is meant to be on the front lines, using his shield and high health bar to push the other team back.
That's why I always like to watch one of these every once in a while, because you get like in touch with the common player. Everything they said is technically correct, but you know, for example, the previous clip, watching like 40 PS versus your one tank's gonna get slammed because you don't have enough sustain. 2 tanks, if you swapped a second tank, they would literally not leave spawn. They would just literally get run over the entire time, right? The reason you can actually make one tank work, but not on Strange, because Strange is really good at absorbing damage and giving it back, but he doesn't have anything in between that, like to take position or to like take an engagement or to burst people as well. So that's why like you sometimes those weird like single tank comps, like you can have like a solo tank Hulk and it works better sometimes than a solo tank Strange because he can go fight a 1v1 and win. But like if you're talking about like the king of solo tank, it's probably Mag. But then you watch something like this, right? And it's like, yeah, you're right. Like the objective is to like hold space and play forward. But what even defines space? You know, it's like you has to be usable space from your team, right? And it's like
Strange main,
jumping through here, you can see everyone's kind of like hanging out down here and doing whatever. So like
as a tank,
this guy pushes all the way up.
Doctor Strange is meant to
actually it's 2 different clips. Okay, it is 2 different clips. I was gonna say because like their whole team is here and their team is not up to the corner yet. Wait, actually, wait, no, it's not. It's the same clip. They got back capped.
He just does not output enough damage to do what he's supposed to do on his own.
So it's like it's funny to watch because it's like they do the right things, but at the wrong moments. And it's like there's nothing wrong with that. But it's why there's, I think, a big disconnect sometimes when people talk about like how the game works or how balance works or how like characters work. Because like everyone knows how they work in theory, but like how they work in an environment like this where there's too many things happening to keep track of. You know, like they're running up and like, oh my god, I need a good support. And it's like, well, you probably would have took none of that damage if you don't go that far. But you need to go that far to take space. Well, sometimes yes, sometimes no, you know? But it's very fascinating to watch. I always enjoy seeing these kinds of POVs. Too many Rivals players have zero idea what space is. They just W key. Yeah, I mean, healing in this game is really strong too. So like that's why people are like, oh, I need a good support. We need good healing. But I think this game, I think it'll evolve in a couple years where people realize like the less damage you take, the better.
So many people hitting him because he's in the front. His shield and health can deplete fast. So I really appreciate it when my wife, who usually plays healer, can watch my back amongst others on the team and keep me alive so I can keep doing what I'm doing.
Frick off, Thor! Oh my frick.
I saved your life so hard there,
Oh
McKay.
my, yeah, you did. Thank you.
There's a real intentional game
That's
design
so
going
cute.
on here, where one character's weakness is meant to be made up for by another hero and vice versa. And even barring that, one of the biggest features of Rivals is character team-ups, which I'll talk about later, don't you worry. My friend Josh, who joins up with us often, told me why he likes playing in a team so much. He said, I think it takes a lot of pressure off. As someone who plays a lot of fighting games, it's difficult to get into it, as when you lose, it's more your fault than anything else, which absolutely sucks, and it's why fighting games have such a hard learning curve. In a team
I never thought
game
about it
like
that way.
Rivals, even if you have a weaker link on your team, you still feel like you have a shot while you try your best. That alone makes it so much nicer to pick up and play. You cannot have played in weeks or months, and you still feel like you've contributed to the team.
He doesn't even know what he just said. So when Overwatch was announced in 2015, there was a Jeff Kaplan interview that came out that the reason why they decided on having 6 players versus 6 players was this almost exact quote verbatim. He said that the reason why they settled on 6 players for these team hero shooters was because in this environment, you had enough impact as an individual player to almost carry the game and to win. But also if you had somebody on your team who was not performing very well, or you were the person who was not performing very well, it wasn't as big of a hindrance where you would instantly lose the game on the spot because of one player who was not having the best game. You could still figure out how to play around it, and you could still find out ways to win. And so it was less punishing queuing up every game if you're not playing your absolute best, or if you got into a higher ranked lobby, or like a mismatch in the matchmaker or whatnot. That's so interesting. He kind of nailed it. That's legitimately was the reason.
has a different play style that a variety of players can enjoy. I'm not even just talking about the 3 roles that I mentioned earlier. Lots of characters have very unique weapons or combat styles and traversal options, even
That's
within
true.
the genre of a third-person shooter. What if you want to play Rivals but don't like the cutthroat split-second reflexes needed in something like Valorant? Well, then maybe Mr. Fantastic or Jeff the Landshark are more your speed. Don't like to meander around a map as a big
Honestly, those games are so fast. You can play almost any character in the game and not have to worry about that.
tank or a slow duelist and enjoy the freedom of traversal? Go with Spider-Man, Iron Man, or Storm. More interested in using strategic planning and gadgets to catch your foes off guard or really just give them a disadvantage? Try Penny, Groot, or Rocket Raccoon. Or perhaps if you really do just want to shoot and kill, then Punisher, Black Widow, or even Hawkeye are good for you. Even then, each hero and their abilities isn't even that cut and dry, especially when you take into account the different roles of the character, the way you use them, the way they interact and complement teammates. It's a true treasure trove of mechanics to play around with, and there really is something for everybody.
I think there's a lot to be said that about Rivals' hero design is like, yeah, they do reuse some stuff. Like, for example, like everyone always complains about the circle of healing, right? But even when characters have similar archetypes, they do have a wide variety of, like, there's not just 2 dive tanks or 3 dive tanks, right? There's a couple. There's like 4 or 5. And they can be played in different ways. Like, they're useful in different areas. Same thing for DPS, same thing for supports,
Making Marvel Rivals very accessible.
I like changing up my playstyle because you can choose characters that just like go off on their own and do damage, and you can choose characters that help other people, and everyone likes you and thinks that you're great when you help them.
Which is what you're all about.
Which is why I heal.
I asked several of my friends who play with us about
Okay, they're playing in a 6-stack. This is the best way to play.
why they choose the characters they play.
Let your shaders load first, otherwise your game's gonna feel awful.
Yes. My friend Justin aptly said, I love characters that get up in the face of the enemy. I usually gravitate to vanguards and DPS, but mostly I've just loved the fact that I can flex in any team comp. Flexibility, I think, is an essential part of a team-based comp, and Marvel Rivals made it so that every character is viable, whatever character you like. My friend Lauren, who regularly plays with me and my wife, said, I play characters that are more intuitive for me. Her sister Megan then
Like
added,
what?
I'm somewhat of a button masher. I go for characters that I can easily get a good combo and have a good distance weapon. Shooting rate is also a deciding factor for me. If their reload speed is slow, I'm more likely to drop the character. I'm not great in
Interesting.
melee as I usually lose my defense early on. I grew up playing games as a sniper more often than swordplay, so that might be the reason why my gameplay leans in that direction.
Oh, that's kind of cute. It's cool. It's cool hearing players
Now-
that, like, you know, they're just gamers articulate the reason why they like the things they do, you know? Because these are things that, like, you don't see get brought up in many discussions. Like, people will either try to be the hyper extreme end that's like, no, they're there for the skill expression, or it's the opposite of like, oh, they just want to turn their brain off and press buttons, you know?
Me, Metroid McKay, I must confess that I am not the biggest fan of competitive online games, especially not shooters and especially not live service ones. Lethal
Saying especially not live service ones, or
competitive
saying
online
especially
not shooters and especially
and then showing this, I'm not gonna lie, diabolical.
not live service ones. Lethal Company, Minecraft servers, sign me up. Something like Valorant or Counter-Strike 2, I don't know. The extent
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I'm not a huge Valorant or Counter-Strike guy. Maybe one of these days I'll get real bored. Real bored. And I'll see how high I can climb in, like, Valorant. Maybe one day. But I'd have to be real bored.
of my online game prowess is very, very lackluster hours in Team Fortress 2, Rocket League, Fortnite when my old roommates bribed me to play, and the Switch version of Overwatch. What was wrong with me? Oh my gosh. I just have so many problems with the hero.
Okay, playing Switch Overwatch is truly, like, you're down bad.
Shooter genre and the live service genre in general.
Valorant is kind of garbage. I've played a good amount, like, not a good amount. I've played a little bit of Valorant. It is kind of garbage. But I think that, well, I guess it could be way worse now. I don't know how much they've changed with, like, flashes and smokes and across the map lines that make you can't see and all this other shit. But I think of it as, like, just the more modern tack shooter. And I think if I just went into CS, it'd just be the slur simulator, you know?
For starters, I think it's a genre that's bred less from wanting to make a piece of art or high quality experience.
Not even Joe Bart plays Val anymore. Did Joe Bart like get his start in Valorant? I don't know. I always just knew him as the TikTok guy. Sorry, I knew him originally as the TikTok guy who would just scream at his phone with the beanie on.
And it's more about money.
Also, there is a lot of Overwatch slander in
general.
here.
For starters, I think it's a genre that's bred less from wanting to make a piece of art or high quality experience, and it's more about money. Games like the original Overwatch and Fortnite, arguably the
There's a lot of slander in here.
games that pioneered the modern hero shooter and live service genres respectively, were so incredibly successful because they were something really kind of new. So much so that they made other companies turn their heads and say, hey, look how successful these games are. I bet we could make a hero shooter or something and make a ton of money as well. Some of them missed the point and purpose of those original games and began pumping out their own games. Not because they had a great gameplay idea to explore or a great story to tell, but because they wanted a piece of the pie. Though there definitely are exceptions. This resulted in the second main
The
problem.
exception, by the way, I think was Fragpunk there? Yeah.
Really are exceptions. This resulted in the second main problem I have with this genre, the oversaturation. So many different live service games, many of them hero shooters or something similar, were being released in such a short amount of time, which led to quantity over
That's
quality. Lots to pick from, but few
true.
managed to really evolve the formula
That's fair.
and set themselves apart enough to justify their price tag or existence.
Oh, by the way, I think I nailed it. 7.5. Wait, I actually nailed it when this video came out. It's actually pretty true, and I feel like right now we're having like a renaissance of games that are outside of that, where we're either getting single player games that are getting either remastered or brand new. And then, like, a lot of the big Titan multiplayer games have just settled down and just do their own thing, but there hasn't been anything being added. There's been a couple here and there that have tried to challenge it. The only one that like is semi-relevant, I guess, is in the last year is like Arc Raiders, but that kind of fell off after about 6+ months or so. But
Justify
yeah.
their price tag or existence. This is what really killed a game like Concord and Highguard, amongst others.
There was a lot more that killed those games than that.
Things. Lawbreakers, Paladins, Star Wars Hunters, Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, and
Dude, I have so much I could say about those. I'm just going to leave it how it is, though.
many more having released in the last 10 years gave gamers a sense of fatigue for the genre. So when Marvel Rivals came out, the current gaming landscape made me and many others say, oh great, another live service game? Another hero shooter? And lastly, that live service model is one that I'm just not a fan of either. I get it, it's a game that keeps on giving. Rather than come out with sequels for a game, just continue to update it with new seasons and new content. In theory, one game that continues to make money is a smart investment as opposed to multiple games that eventually stop selling. And the successful live service games were showing that this was totally viable. But I think that comes at the cost of creation and innovation and creating brand new experiences. As someone who
I've never heard someone put it that way before, but I think that's a very, very smart way
really
of putting
loves
it.
brand new experiences, for me this isn't super appealing. Did I really start to question my stance on live service games? Despite all these problems that clouded the good experience that these games might have, and
Give me your
admittedly
whole-
the fun that
yeah,
I was
nice job.
having,
Give me the whole
she
charge.
was having a blast.
I keep killing the Iron Man.
How could she keep playing a game when these kinds of problems were present? Was Marvel Rivals really a game that could provide meaningful gameplay experiences like the single-player games I enjoyed? Was it truly different from the other games in the genre? Was I wrong?
Well, I don't think so. I think if you only stick to one thing, you'll always have shortened horizons, right? I think it's always smart to try new things. That's why I've been expanding much more outside of competitive games in the last few years, because I actually used to be a massively avid solo player gamer, like single player gamer, because that's how I grew up. Like, I didn't have the internet when I was a kid, and then as a teenager, I got like Xbox 360 Live eventually as like 13, 14 years old, and I couldn't use it all the time because on weekends I had to go to my grandma's house because my mom was a single mom, so I wasn't allowed to stay home a lot of times because I was just too young, so I'd have to go stay the weekend at my grandparents' house. My grandparents didn't have internet, so I'd have a weekend of playing on my GameCube, playing on my PlayStation 2, playing on my Xbox 360, but offline mode, right? So I played tons of solo player games. And then as I got older, and then I got into Siege, right? I got into Siege, became a pro Siege player, stopped playing Siege, went to Arc. Arc's obviously still online. And then like, you know, eventually got into Overwatch, and then Overwatch was like my big thing for a very, very long time. And, you know, like that was my last basically 10 years. So I've been very heavily into competitive and FPS games. So I've been spending a lot of time getting back into more single player and solo player games. And I've really realized like how much I was missing in there. Is it always the best content? No. Is it sometimes a little slow? Yes, as like a streamer, but I'm okay with that. Because I learn a lot from it. I also have a lot of fun in it. So I think like it also lets you appreciate these FPS games more.
Short answer, yeah, I pretty much was wrong. Having been playing with Camille for a good while now, having
a lot of people just don't know the story about Siege, but it was console year one. So year one, there was PC Pro League and there was console Pro League, and it only lasted 1 year because everyone was fucking cheating and bullshit was going on. But yeah,
bit of fun myself, seeing how much fun she was having and seeing how interesting the things I have talked about earlier were, I had to take a step back and really reevaluate my own mentalities here. And then I started to learn even more.
What's going on with that?
See that the Marvel IP was indeed giving this game an edge over its competitors. Perhaps the use of an existing IP gives Marvel Rivals an unfair advantage. You can be the judge of that. But for a casual player like Camille, familiarity helped her find something she truly loved.
I knew about Marvel before.
Right.
And it's interesting learning more about the characters.
Right.
If I think about playing Overwatch, I'm like, I'm not really interested because who even are, it's not Doctor Strange.
Really? So it being an IP.
That's why lore is important. That's why putting effort into your character's story is important.
That you're familiar with helps.
Oh, absolutely, 100%.
Wow,
because I actually know that I was excited.
This is why putting out a singular cinematic at every 2 years isn't fucking enough.
To play like Mantis when I first picked it up because I think she's cute. And I'm excited to learn these other people because now I'm like watching X-Men and I'm getting into the lore and I'm like, oh, maybe I should learn Gambit because I really like him in the show.
Yeah. And you're getting into the show because of Marvel Rivals.
Yeah, it's like interesting. They've got like a love triangle apparently. I gotta know more.
Every new hero, event, battle arena, skin, emote, spray, everything digs deep and pulls tons of great references from the source material, whether that be the comics, films, or even other video games. Look no further than the character designs of the heroes themselves. It's something that I really took for granted. More serious characters like Moon Knight and Punisher look the part and feel exactly like you would expect them to feel. Goofier characters like Squirrel Girl and Jeff the Landshark have emotes and voice lines that are appropriate to their characters. And even
I never thought about that. They really don't cross those lines. Like, you don't got Punisher doing the Dougie and fucking and oh my god, I'm trying to forget what the fucking or doing the 6-7 emote.
Outside just the aesthetics, the gameplay and
like it's only like some of the more goofy
combat mechanics have the heroes and who they are in mind.
Star-Lord has 3 dancing emotes. I think Star-Lord's kind of goofy. I mean, I've only seen like 2 movies where Star-Lord's in it and he's like a bit of a goofball.
That are
I guess he loves to dance, so like I guess that makes sense.
Appropriate to their characters. And even outside just the aesthetics, the gameplay and combat mechanics have the heroes and who they are in mind. Deadpool
I didn't watch Guardians of the Galaxy. I've watched like the End Game and I forget the trilogy. You know what I'm talking about, the Thanos movies.
Could have easily just had guns in his katana, but the developers know he's a fourth wall breaking, taunting, and annoying character.
In season 6, Deadpool joins Marvel Rivals. Deadpool is a...
Oh, you can't box a genius like me into a single class. I'm versatile, baby. Hey, take a break, boss. Your new pal Wade will handle this one himself.
Dude, the Deadpool season was kind of peak.
A literal comic book to enhance his moves. His 3 ults are centered around annoying you and getting in the way. His personality is baked right into how his character in the game functions. Even though it's a third-person shooting game, these characters stand out because they are true to who they are originally. They didn't just hand Mr. Fantastic or Thor a gun or something similar and call it good. They used these characters' abilities and identities to inform their movesets, making each character feel like, well, that character. For many characters,
I don't remember what that team up is.
Makes sense. Mantis wouldn't be a tank. She's a healer. That's like her whole thing. And conversely, the Thing wouldn't be a healer. Being big and strong and protecting people is like his whole, thing.
Say that again?
I've seen a lot of people that argue about certain characters though, that like, oh, this could be a DPS, this could be a tank, but
Thinking,
either way.
duh, these characters are so iconic and so distinct that...
Dude, you know what's funny? Look at this article. Spider-Man is the most iconic American hero, and here are the 10 reasons why. Marvel Rivals has done irreparable damage to this guy. This guy's reputation is in the goddamn toilet because of Marvel Rivals.
Characters are so iconic and so distinct that they could not have gotten away with just handing them guns and treating them as skins. First of all, you'd be surprised, and I agree, it's a no-brainer to treat these characters properly. Nowadays, it can feel like nothing can exist without being tied to an existing franchise or brand, and that in and of itself can be a problem. So I think Marvel Rivals' deeper and more thoughtful use of an IP is particularly refreshing. Marvel Rivals can definitely be seen as just another hero shooter with a Marvel coat of paint, but I think if you look deeper, it looks far more like a love letter to so many beloved characters than a cash grab.
I will say, I don't ever feel like I'm being cash grabbed in Rivals.
Intricate gameplay systems, plus my prejudice towards the hero shooter genre, resulted in me thinking that this genre just didn't really feature the deepest gameplay. This is an area where I already knew I was wrong, as I mentioned earlier with the characters' move designs and the teamwork involved, but there's more than just gameplay mechanics keeping players coming back. I feel like
that's also subjective too. Like you just might not be someone that likes hero shooters, but you like tac shooters. Like that's normal.
Is stats and numbers. How many kills you get, how much healing or damage blocking you do, how many coins you earn in certain events, how many hours you've played with the character. In matches, some of these numbers can be very telling of what kind of player you are and how you can help your team, where you might need to switch things up. Are you blocking enough damage? Do you need to do more by switching to a duelist? Camille saw lots of fulfillment in seeing these numbers rise and that affecting her game.
I love turn-based because
the scoreboard is both an amazing tool and a hindrance. Because that's how most people think. Like, if you're like, oh god, not the scoreboard, it's like, yeah, but that's how most people think. Like, they think I need to get my number higher, my damage number needs to be higher, my damage block needs to be higher, my healing number needs to be higher. And so they try to pick characters that are going to do that, even if it's not the right way to win.
gives me time to think.
Okay.
And so I guess this is kind of out of my toolbox, if you will. But it's a different kind of fun, because then I get to think super on the move.
Yeah.
And you can recover quickly from mistakes.
Oh, interesting.
I think I really like that. And even if you like totally flop a game, the only thing that's going to come from that is that you learn from your mistakes and you queue up with totally different people.
Oh, wow. Okay. Sure, this time she wasn't winning or performing well because of a number going up from selling thousands of crops or rolling high on a dice like before, as valid as those are. But for her, it was fun to see her ranking go up, to get an MVP badge, to see all your stats in real time during combat rise.
I know people talk about the rank system in Rivals a lot of times, like, oh, it's kind of like not real until you get to like Celestial because you can climb with a negative win rate. And it's like, that is true, but you have to play a lot of games. But there's something to be said too about the people that are playing the game and they're winning and they climb more and then they lose a game. Like they win 35 points and they lose like 27. So they're still up at the end of their sessions and they still feel good by the end of it. But they're also not like there's problems that can also happen with that too. But I think that the game knows it's not supposed to be hyper competitive.
Tank duos.
I guess the team up is better. Yeah.
Why wouldn't you want the team up, bro?
Now that's something that's not all that different from the average hero shooter. Even in Overwatch or something that's structured a little differently like Valorant, you see stats and you have to work together. But Marvel Rivals was bringing something else really unique to the table. Team up abilities. Plenty of heroes already have abilities that synergize well with each other.
Do you think this guy ever saw coming what's happened in season 9?
But the developers of Rivals made it so that certain pairs or trios of heroes get a totally unique new ability or certain buffs, but only when they're on the same team together in a match. Justin had this to say: I love the collaboration that Marvel Rivals forces you to do. While all the characters are viable to play, the synergy between certain characters can't be ignored. The unique team-up abilities make playing characters fun and fresh, since NetEase does a really great job introducing new characters and combinations.
I'm curious if there'll be a follow-up video to this someday, or maybe a different version, like a same spiritual successor kind of thing. I would love to see what people feel like in like a month or two from now with the current new team up format.
And I totally agree. These team up abilities are a ton of fun. How do you make people want to work together? Well, you make them literally better when they team up. The developers making certain heroes gain abilities when put together is something that not only sets rivals apart, but makes for a positive and collaborative experience. It incentivizes you to play as different heroes that may have a better team up with another. And since the heroes that do have team ups are always changing, there are constantly new ways and reasons to try all sorts of heroes, just like...
Isn't there a bit of an argument here, though, that you don't actually want to team up with your teammates as much anymore because everyone always has a team up? So you just like, you'll have one no matter what. So it's like it's not as rewarding to actually pick like the enhanced version unless it's like very specific circumstances. There might be an argument there. I don't know. What do you think of the 5 months?
Do I want to play as Groot? Not really.
I know, but like, what if you don't like? What if you like one version more than the other? You know, so like, let's say you're on Mag, right? And somebody picks Emma, but you really want to use the sword on Mag more than you want to use the double clone. So even though you'll get the enhanced version, you don't want to pick it, so you don't care. You know?
Want to play as Groot when my wife is playing as Rocket? Like pretty much every other video game on the planet, Marvel Rivals is so much better with friends.
Yo, my ult percentage is 6-7. We got this.
Yeah.
But also on a bit of a different level than other co-op games. It takes all the coordination you would expect from your average co-op experience, but the more specific roles in combat allow your relationships to take on a really cool new form in the world of the game. Kind of like how Camille playing healer reflects her ability to help people in real life and the affirmation she gets when that help is recognized. With Justin, I've known him for a long time as an extremely helpful and kind person, and it's kind of fun to see that manifest in the game as him being willing to switch characters and protect people.
Let's see Justin be Spidey. Show us your Spidey.
Justin Spidey.
I have never seen someone actively want somebody to go swap Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Today is a new day.
If they're asking for it.
When I asked my friends why they like to get on and play with one another, Lauren told us, because the people I care about are playing it. I find
That is so true.
it pretty boring to play alone, actually. I tend to steer clear of games like this, but having friends that are encouraging and kind helps me get out of my cozy game comfort zone.
That is so fucking true. Like the social quote-unquote pressure that if your friends are all playing one game, you either join them playing that game or you have to get them off that game to play something else. It's true. It's how it is sometimes. And so if a couple people want to go play Rivals, everyone's going to go play Rivals. And so then you play it more and then you either grow to like it or you will grow to dislike it. Unless your friends want to hop on, you might not want to play it, you know? Or just me and just be me and just watch them. I mean, that's true too. I mean, that can happen, but at least for me, I would rather play most of the time unless I'm like doing something else. Like if I'm doing work or I have something that I need to do on this in the meantime. Like I don't mind having it like second monitor and just like hang out in Discord. But I mean, yeah, like you're still joining them. You're still watching them play the same game at that point. You know what I mean?
Josh then added, I find it a fun game to goof around with my friends in. Low commitment, easy to hop in, free to play, with recognizable characters.
Stop shooting my dog, Josh.
Sorry, I was shooting this rat.
Oh, there's a rat on the ground. Get that.
There's a rat? Oh, dude, I don't play on high enough settings. I've
Playing
never seen that
Rivals
little
with our
bastard.
friends has only brought us even closer, and it's a unique multiplayer experience that I would have never had otherwise.
That's
Spills like in 15 months.
The skin that says she played in the open beta.
She has the rare one?
Yeah.
That's like...
And she's buns.
It has become a favorite pastime for my friend group. Plus, it's always fun when Josh busts out his Ben Grimm voice and does something like this.
Nice job, everyone.
Yeah, that was really good.
I tell you, today I went up against this awful team that portaled into the bus. Bye.
Goodbye.
Okay, that's actually pretty funny.
Last question. Do you think that this isn't that deep and I should stop being weird about you playing a game that I didn't expect you to like?
After all this, I quickly learned that my surprise from Camille liking a game from a genre I didn't like was silly. Marvel Rivals was clearly something she was having a lot of fun with, so obviously...
Let this be a reason to you for anything in life. if you like a game or you like something and other people don't, that's okay. Just enjoy what you want to enjoy. Because a lot of people, this is a good example of somebody who's willing and open to actually trying new things and learning. There's many people in life that are not. They're closed-minded. They refuse to try something else. They just believe what they want to believe, and they shut their ears and go la 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 to anything else. This is a rare moment, but it's very nice. You might play a game that actually might be really fun. I'm going to take it, like, you know what? Like, I'll give you a good example. Let's say you like Dead by Daylight. I think that game's dog shit. I think it's for many reasons. Obviously, we know that, right? Like, there was a whole saga of that. But if you genuinely really enjoy it, that's okay. I'm happy for you. I ain't never touching it because I played it before. But maybe, like, let's say tomorrow I had a reason to go play it. Maybe I'd actually end up liking it. I probably won't. But what if I did? And I think there's a lot of people that are afraid to even try something at all. They'll never try it because they're like, nah, fuck that game. I've heard it sucks or whatever. And so it's a bit of a rare moment. But you should enjoy what you want to enjoy.
Not all hero shooters are bad. Is this something I kind of already knew but didn't really acknowledge? Yeah. Did spending time with my wife and seeing how much she liked something help me recognize it more fully?
No, Darren, I think it's
also,
tournaments.
Yes. It's okay to not like things.
I like fighting games. My boyfriend likes them a lot, but I gave Guilty Gear a try to be able to play with him. I still enjoy other fighting games, but I respect them a lot more now, and I'm playing Guilty Gear. And that's actually so cute.
We should dismiss and criticize things about a game or a genre that deserve it, like Concord's generic design and gameplay or Highguard's confusing match structure.
Hang on, I'm sorry. What did you just say?
Not like things, and we should dismiss and criticize things about a game or a genre
that
I was like, deserve it, like Concord's generic design and gameplay or Highguard's confusing match structure or any other more problematic theme. But it should also be normal to praise things that really do deserve praise, even if it's...
That's probably one of the most annoying parts of being a content creator is you have to be on one side all the time for many people. If you don't ever stay on one side all the time, you're a fence sitter, you're annoying, like whatever, because they always see what they want to see. That's how For You pages work. And so, like, let's say something is bad and you criticize it, and then something else from the same game is good and you praise it. The chances the same person saw both is actually not that high. And so if you see things that are only the praises and you see things that are only the criticisms, it's easy to develop of like, oh, this game sucks, or oh, this game is glazed really hard, right? But it's actually natural and actually healthy to say, no, this is bad. This shouldn't be a thing. And, oh, this is good. I'd love to see more of this.
Not your cup of tea. Camille helped me see that I was so obsessed with the problems of hero shooters, I was missing out on the things that Marvel Rivals and many other games were truly getting right. Most of the problems I had with hero shooters as a whole were assumptions. I hadn't played many of the games that I was criticizing. If Marvel Rivals can do good things within the genre, surely other games can. Heck, pretty much every good thing about Marvel Rivals I mentioned in the video, Overwatch did first, despite its own problems. I can't ignore that. I don't think that Marvel Rivals
came back around at the end.
Problems of this genre. I still much prefer the single-player experience. I don't love having to buy skins, and sometimes the gameplay of hero shooters is straight up overstimulating for me. Holy frick, there's so much happening right now.
What is happening?
Oh, this is a lot happening. Oh god, the season 9 update actually might be not a good thing for them.
I think this game is getting enough right and setting themselves apart from their competitors by making the game recognizable, accessible, and fun. And now I'm trying to explore how other hero shooters are getting that right too. I've started to try more Valorant with my friend Justin and one of our other friends. I am not amazing at it. I don't like how the progression works. I think having to buy
going from Rivals to Valorant, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Listen, live your life. I would not do that. That is too big of a jump.
Is stupid, and the culture is something that I have yet to really find my place in. But you know what? I love playing games with Justin. Winning a match when you're the last man standing feels straight up euphoric.
Behind you, behind you, behind you.
Behind me?
Okay, in the smoke.
Through the smoke.
Turn.
Oh! Yo!
Dies.
I have so much adrenaline right now. And I've had some really great teammates to help me when I'm down.
Is it to buy your character in Valorant? Yeah, you buy your characters. They're not free.
Probably not, but that doesn't really matter at the end of the day. As
Yo,
Dean Calhoun of
69
Video
months.
Game High
Nice.
School famously said,
Boom.
Appreciate you.
It's all about the game.
"Is it fun? Is it adding to my life? Is it uplifting me?
For IRL money? Yeah, agents are not free in Valorant unless they've changed that since I last played. Yeah, you play to get XP for the characters. Yeah, but I think you have to. You can probably. Can you buy them too, or is it XP only? Same in Apex. Yeah, Apex as well. It used to be like that in Overwatch too, actually. They are free. We have to play a lot, or you can buy them. Yeah. Okay, so you buy them. Like that's the real answer. Is you buy them unless you play the game every day, nothing else. Okay. Cool.
My wife showed me that when I look more kindly and curiously for that answer, even in something that I might not like, the answer can be yes. I might not like hero shooters very much, but I love my wife a whole lot more. When she's laughing with her friends at an insane moment in the game, or screaming at an incredibly tough team, or really just having a good time, it is not my responsibility to tell her that she shouldn't be having fun because this is a hero shooter. And I just don't like those kinds of games, and they have so many problems. Even if it's not my number one favorite thing to do, it's clearly my wife's, and that is far more important to me than even my own disdain. It has been far more pleasant to join her and see why she likes it, and to start liking some of it myself, than to be an oblivious observer who judges things before even trying to experience them themselves. It's one thing to introduce someone else to something you like, but it's a whole different animal to be the one being introduced and the one who is unfamiliar with something.
That's true.
I found that if you think you might not
me and Shay's off-stream games, maybe I'll make it an on-stream thing someday, but we haven't really crossed that bridge yet. She's a huge simulator gamer, so we played a lot of like simulator games off-stream. Like we played one recently before she left for her trip. Where basically you run like a pizza shop, and we're running a pizza shop, and then the back end of the pizza shop is like for the mob, and so one of us runs the pizza shop, the other runs the mob shop, you know, and so we have to balance being like a pizza shop owner and running jobs for the mob, you know, and it's pretty good.
Like something, that's the perfect opportunity to try it and see if you're right. Marvel Rivals didn't quite sway me entirely on hero shooters. They're still not totally my cup of tea, but I have found so many aspects of them that I truly do love, and it's been such a wonderful thing to table my own mentalities for a while and just have fun. And I think I just might keep it up.
Guys, this is our last match. We gotta win. Let's go! Let's go! Kill that rat. What is that freaking rat?
Stay alive, Justin.
Oh, it's time to let the devil out. Okay.
Kill him. Kill him.
Yeah, we've actually played Roadside Research a little bit.
Have fun before she gets nervous.
That was a very good video.
No, I fell right into it. I think I'm done, y'all. That was fun.